Welcome everyone to this new video, this new recovery story. Today I'm sitting here with beautiful Bea, who is gonna share a bit about her story today. I met Bea in my first introductory kind of course. So the first course I ever did on DPDR recovery was a live course. So with people following in live, so I could get feedback and alter the product of the online course. And Bea was one of the people that joined me, and she's an incredibly lovely person, has a warm personality, and a very beautiful, beautiful, I feel, in my opinion, approach to how she recovered. And I think a lot of you are going to get a lot from her perspective today. So thank you very much, Bea, for being here and for joining me today.
Sure.
Yeah. How are you feeling today in general?
So I'm feeling really good and I'm feeling really honored to be here because it's so crazy that like when we are going through it, DPDR, we never imagine that we are going to be the other side of the
Mhm.
story. Like we want to have that hope, we aim for it, we want it, but we like I'll never be this person. Like deep down, you don't imagine your recovery story. You know, you don't really imagine yourself being there. So
Mhm.
being here after 1 year, 2 year, I guess, the 2 years, right? That I
Yeah.
did the course is like it. It makes me feel really honored to be here.
Oh, that makes me so happy like to hear. And I've been like following you on Instagram for quite a while, and you seem like you're thriving. Bea's also become a mom, like she was pregnant actually during her DPDR, right? And like I'm curious, like how did that
Yeah.
impact I guess like the whole process for you during it and also after it when you got your baby?
So yeah, when I was going through the PDR, I was like through a really difficult phase, right?
Yeah.
So I almost invited my daughter. Was like I needed her light.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed I needed to feel like I wasn't alone. So it was like I was in this relationship with her dad. We are not together anymore. But back
Mhm.
then we were both depressed. We were both in not in a good place in our lives,
Yeah.
and I it was something so intuitive. It wasn't like um oh I need this baby so then
Yeah.
she can give me her light. It wasn't like so straightforward like that. It was like my soul was telling me I need to be a mom now. It almost made me cry because I needed her and she came. So it was like it was enlightening for me. It
Mm.
was really enlightening to discover that I was pregnant. It was like I was scared too, of course. But when we are going to the predia, all we feel is fear, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like this most high level of fear, and I was really going through it. And when I discovered that I was pregnant, I wasn't like there was no more level to fear to
Yeah. Yeah.
feel anything. So everything that I felt was like I felt like, oh, I'm a mom now, so I need to act like a mom.
Mm.
I need to bring my mom persona to the game and say like I'm responsible for this life that is going to create itself in my womb. So now I need to act like a mom. So that was the time when I started to feel like I don't care. I don't care that I'm going through it. I don't care that this is happening to me. I cannot go through this destructive path anymore. I need to go find what makes me feel good. I need to go to this recovery, really.
You have a really strong spiritual side and like an intuition in that. And I've always felt like that was maybe also one of your strengths in this whole process. I feel like you had such a beautiful way of like inspiring the others with like words of wisdom and things like that. And I'm just curious how you reflect on that yourself, like now looking back.
I I had to get in touch with my darkness. I had to see the other side of it. I had to see, like, I came down to the past to see all my demons. I was at the party, at this party with them, and they were like, they were having fun. I wasn't having fun at all, but they were like playing the game. They were living my life for me, basically. So it was really frightening to see how destructive our demons can be if you don't give love for them and comprehension. Because I also came to understand that, like, this, I came to understand now that I'm more like that. I'm not going so down and then so high. I feel like I'm in a place where I found balance, because it's like life, it's still being life. Life is like throwing their challenges and just playing life. But I feel like I'm not going down anymore. I'm not going so down, because I already went that path.
Yeah.
And now there's no coming back, because I saw everything that I have to see. You know, I saw it then one by one. I saw all destructive thoughts. I saw all destructive habits. I saw everything. So now I'm like, I am both of them. I'm the part too, you know. And what the part wants from me is just that understanding, and that, like, okay, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you are there, and I'm giving attention to you. I'm not nurturing this kind of thought, but I'm giving attention, but I'm not letting you rob me from myself. You know, I'm not letting you take me away, and, you know, just letting it consume me and take everything from me.
So it's acknowledging your dark sides, and without identifying too much with them anymore, and just kind of seeing, like, okay, this is a part of me. I see you, I accept you, and I embrace you. I give love to you in some way, but I'm not. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, Bea, like, what do you feel like in your journey in this recovery were the things that you really valued, and like the things that really helped you get through it, and helped you get from that place where you felt so low to like being where you are now? And I'd love to hear like some of your tips and just things that helped you to like help other people, hopefully, as well.
The first thing that I needed to understand back then is that when we are not knowing how to deal with life, or how to deal whatever is happening with us, we have to ask for help. And one of the things that we tend to do, because I went through DPDR twice. The last time that I went to the course, it was the second time, and I thought that would never happen, right? When this first happened, it was like I felt it's just, you feel completely out of yourself. And I'm not talking about it so then people will focus on it. I'm just saying because I know how they feel. I know how they feel. I know the feeling of being numb, of not feeling your feelings, or not thinking your thoughts, just being afraid. It's just that most high level of fear. And I went through that the first time in 2019. And back then, I didn't know how to ask for help. So I started to ignore it, and I went through life, and I decided to focus on other things, and I became better. But I was always with the fear that this will come back.
Yeah.
One day it will come back. I can still come back for that place. If things start to come wrong in my life, if I go to a place where I feel that I cannot deal with life, I know that those feelings are going to come back, and I'm going to be in the hole again. So that was the first time. I still had the fear. And when it happened for the second time, I said, like, this is it. this is it. Like, I'm done. It's happening again. I'm feeling my feelings in this way again. I'm feeling totally anxious. And I started to feel like I was possessed by a demon or something.
Mm-hmm.
This is not truth, because you start to be more fearful of yourself because you believe that, right? I had to come to my mom and say, I can't deal with my thoughts anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to kill me, and I feel that I have no control over them. Everything that I want to just to be in my room, in my bed, I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to talk with anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first step that I would say for people out there, is just ask for help. You do need help, and I'm sure that people who love you, they will try everything to see you well again.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you asked for help, and then what were like the other like maybe more practical things that you feel started to make you feel safe again? Because DPDR is all about not feeling safe and not feeling in control of yourself and feeling lost, like spiritually, emotionally, and like what do you feel like you did to like get out of that or to help yourself get through that?
It made me feel safe to understand that people love me. I am loved. My family loves me. So this made me feel safe and secure to respect my process, to come back to myself again. So after I started to feel good and secure and loved unconditionally, it was like that love, that unconditional love with I'm cared for.
Yeah.
And I started to focus on that positive side that is like, we are only going up now. There's no going down anymore. It started to help me to direct my mind to a place for recovery. And that's why it was when I started to look for videos on YouTube about it. And that was when I found you. And let me say one thing. Back then, every time that you posted a video, it was like a light. It was like, she's there. She understands it. She understands. So yeah, shifting your mindset for recovery, that would be the second thing.
That's really beautiful, Bea. And when do you feel like things really started to shift for you, where you really just started feeling better? And how did that feel like for you?
It was when I finished the course, we finished the course, and we would have like these meditations. You did some meditations,
yeah,
and you taught us how to sit down and to just be there. And even when that discomfort comes through,
yeah,
you know, I remember that when I was doing this meditation, that I would feel an agony. I would feel like I want to get out of here. I want to engage with some thoughts. I want to engage with something. I don't want to be here. And I would be on the call like this, and then I would make this like, is it over? I was dying for it to be over, and everyone was still like that. And I was, oh my God, I will have to be here. And that was when I first learned to look inside.
Yeah.
To look inside. And that's the answer. Like, even for things that I'm going through right now, is that, okay, the darkness is there. People who are going through it are seeing the millions of evidences of it. Yeah. But also, there's light. There's light also. And if you just stop for a bit and you look, you see that your mind is, at the same time that it can be destructive, it can be helpful. You know? You can be in a place of stillness, and you can see that there are the tools. It's inside of you, you know, and only you can know, because everyone is so different.
Yeah, it's like, I love what you said about when you first like meditate and you kind of really just want it to end, but that's why you actually have to do it. It's because you're running from yourself in that moment. You're running from your own feelings, your own thoughts, and that's the whole point of learning to meditate and learning to sit with that, is like learning to not only sit with the discomfort, but also look for those tools inside of you, like you described. I have two more questions for you, Bea. First of all, how do you look back from where you are today on this whole process? Like, do you perceive it with gratitude? Do you feel like it shouldn't have happened? Like, how do you look back on that today?
I look back with gratitude. It was like, now I went through it twice, guys. It's like, it was hell. It was hell, and I went through it. And now my when I look back, my response is gratitude for sure, because it's like I will not go for the place anymore. I will not be on that situation anymore. I will not put myself there anymore, because I know that everything that my darkness wants is integrity. It wants to have attention. It wants to be a part of me, but not as something bad, but like as a lesson, as a lesson for me to have that sureness that yes, I'm loved. Yes, I am that light, and the darkness can be here, but it will not take over. It's like I'm the leader. I'm the one, and I can choose. I can have this autonomy. I can have this presence and this grace to be with it.
Absolutely.
And to not be it, not be it, just be able to be myself, be present, to live my life and go through the challenges without being it.
Yeah, so you feel you've learned a lot from it and that it's taught you to embrace that dark side of you instead of like pushing it away, basically.
Yes, and I used to watch these videos where people would say like, oh, this was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I was like, what? Worst thing that ever happened to me? I don't even know if I'm going back anymore. I think I died and my body is here. There's no way it can be a good thing. But now I feel like the confidence that it has given me throughout the years is like, it's huge. It's something that benefits my soul, my eternal part, the eternal part of me. So there's nothing more important than that.
I love that perspective, Bea. Thank you for sharing that. And I guess my final question is like, to the people that are watching you right now that are desperate, that are maybe looking for that like quick word of encouragement, like what would you tell them, and what are like some final words that you still want to share?
So yeah, for the people who are going through it, just know that you are loved. That's it. It's like there's no much to say. It's like just surrender. You have to come to that place of surrenderness. Have to surrender and to be there, deal with it, because I know that this may feel like it is the end of the world, or is the end of your world, but it's just that place of surrender, because by the end of the day, or by the end of everything comes to one thing, that it is love. It is love. We come from it, and we are going to it. It's like we are it also. It's like it's everywhere, and it's something that touches anyone. It's something that touches everyone, and that was what made me start to change, was that I surrendered. I even entered church.
Wow.
Yes, I went to church, because my family they are Christians. I don't label myself as anything. I am love. As the same way that you may have a devil running your life, you also have a God. So that's what I would say, like surrender to love.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I feel like, you're right. There's these two parts of us, and when you are living in fear, you tend to let fear run everything. But like you say, as equal as we have that fear in us, we also have that part of love and as you could call it, God or anything that you resonate with, and you equally have the choice to follow that part. And thank you for sharing that and for sharing your journey
Yeah.
today with everyone. I think this is going to be very like beautiful for people to listen to. Is there any like final word that you'd like to share?
One thing that really helped me, like was like fundamental to helping me, was this book by Eckhart Tolle, The
Oh yeah.
Power of Now.
Mm,
And oh my God, that was life
okay.
changing.
Yeah.
And it's a book that I still come back to it
Mm.
every day almost.
I guess that was then it for our interview today, Bea. I want to thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your beautiful, like warm, like maybe even a different perspective, more like a spiritual approach to the recovery and being open-minded to that. For everyone that has watched today and that has some sort of questions for Bea, feel free to drop a comment and she'll be happy to answer that. I'll make sure that she gets your questions. And yeah, I wish you a beautiful life further, Bea, and you deserve all the happiness.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for coming today.